What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm starting to sweat already because today I'm doing a workout at home. There is the gym, but today I'm working out outside. And because I want to show you two different workouts that you can do once you're traveling. You know, what happens if you don't have access to a gym? Or if you're in a hotel, if you're traveling, or if you're at home and don't have a gym, it's raining outside, it's snowing outside, there's meteors or zombies outside, whatever, and you're not up to going to the gym today. What can you do with your body weight and minimum equipment to get a really good and intense strength training session? There are two different types of workouts that I want to show you today. The first one is a super slow training with minimum amount of exercise but very high intensity. The second one is a bit on the other side of the spectrum. There are more exercises, there's less intensity, more body weight, but more volume of exercises. And each one of those workouts you can do every time that you are traveling, or if you train not in a gym, if you're always traveling, or if you don't have membership to a gym, you can do one of them twice a week and the other twice a week. The equipment that you will need is very simple. You need a bunch of resistance bands. Some of them are closed like this. Is a whole belt, and some of them are open, like this one. Let me show you here. They have two ends that are open like this. So you need a set of resistance bands that is closed, a set of resistance bands that is open. You always can get a light, medium, and hard resistance band for each one of those types. And it's a very complete set of equipment for you to travel around with. Doesn't weigh anything to put in your luggage, doesn't occupy much space. You need a yoga mat, and you need a tree. I'll show you the first workout and what the super slow exercises are, and then I'll show you the second exercise, the second workout with a bit more volume of exercises. The super slow training has 5 exercises. Think of them more like movements rather than specific exercises. You want to have one movement that is a horizontal push, one movement that is a horizontal pull, one movement that is a vertical push, one movement that is a vertical pull, and one movement that is a press with the legs. And we are going to accomplish this with resistance bands. The first movement, that will be a horizontal push. We will do push-ups. You can even do resistance band push-ups, or if you can't do push-ups with resistance bands, you do only with your body weight, either with your knees on the floor or even in an inclined surface if you can't do a whole push-up on the floor super slow. This will be our first exercise that I'll demonstrate to you. The second is a horizontal pull. For this, we'll get a resistance band around a tree and do something similar like a cable row, but we are going to push this with a resistance band. And the third exercise is an overhead press. We will do with a resistance band that we can step on it and just push it over our heads. The vertical pull is similar to a lat pull down, but we will also use a tree in a resistance band. We put the resistance band around the tree and then bend our body forward and pull it like this. That is the same movement as if you're pulling a lat pull down, but only sitting. We will be doing this movement with a resistance band. And the fifth movement is a squat with a resistance band as well. You step on the resistance band, bring it close to your shoulder, and super slow squat down and up. All these exercises are meant to be done in a super slow manner, which means that all repetitions that you are counting, you are doing them from 8 to 1 whenever you're pulling. Imagine that we are doing a squat here. When I go down on the squat, I count from 8 to 1. 8, 7, 6, all the way super slow until the bottom. And when I reach the bottom, that I start pushing up, I also do them very slow. I start counting from 8, 7, 6, all the way to 1. So instead of doing 1, 2, 3, I'll go 8, 7, 6, and all the way down, and then all the way up in a very slow manner. And I will not count my number of repetitions. I will not count, I'll do 12 repetitions of the squat, or 12 repetitions of push-up. Instead, I will time. So while I'm doing, for example, my push-up super slow, I have a timer that is counting how much time I can stand do it. And I will only finish each one of the exercises when I reach muscular failure, which means that I will not finish my push-up whenever I am tired and say, I cannot do one more, so I stop before this, cannot do one more. No, I will show myself that I cannot do one more. There will be a point that I touch the ground and I can't lift anymore. I get stuck. This is exactly where I want to go. When I'm doing this squat, there's a point that I'm getting very tired, and I think if I do one more, this is my last one. I still don't stop. I will do that last one. So when I go down and I start lifting up, I will get stuck midway, and then my body will collapse and I'll fall. This is exactly where I should finish each one of the exercises. For the super slow training, it's of uttermost importance that you get to muscular failure, because you're doing them for a very short amount of exercise, very little amount of exercises, a very little volume of training, and the less volume of training you do, the more important it is that you increase on the intensity, that you get close to failure or even to failure itself. Failure is when you cannot move the body anymore. So again, I want to emphasize each one of these exercises are not to be finished when you think you cannot go for one more. You keep on going until your body shows you and gets stuck there and you fail in the middle of the movement. You physically cannot move anymore. Let your body tell you instead of your mind tell you when you should finish. And once you finish, then you look at your timer. I did this for 1.5 minutes, or I did this for 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatnot. I take notes. I do push-ups 1 minute 45 seconds. Next time that I do the same exercise in the same way, I want to see if I can increase 5 seconds. And so if I did any exercise that fell within 1.5 minutes and 2 minutes, let's say I do push-ups and I finish for 1:45. Next time that I do it, I want to try to do 1:50. And then next time I do it, I want to go until 1:55. Once I pass 2 minutes of any exercise, then I will increase the load. If I'm doing with a light resistance band, I'll go for a medium resistance band. If I am holding the resistance band more on top, I'll hold more at the bottom and stretch it a bit more. Or if I am doing my incline push-up in a specific height, I want to go lower a little bit. I want to find a way to make it more intense. If I do an exercise that is less than 130, say that I'm doing my push-up, but it was very hard to me and I finish at 125. Next time that I do it, I want to decrease the weight. So if I'm doing with a medium resistance band, I'll do with a light one. If I'm doing a specific inclination on my push-up, I want to do it a little higher to make it a little easier. So that I want to fall in between 130 minimum, 2 minutes maximum. Less than 130, I decrease the weight. More than 2 minutes, I increase the weight. And when it's 130 to 2 minutes, I try to increase the time, keeping the weight as it is. So let's go, I'll show you the exercises, what they are.
You need cooling, baby, I'm not fooling. I'm gonna send you back to schooling, way down inside. Honey, you need it. I'm gonna give you my love. I'm gonna give you my
The second workout is a training with more volume. It's a circuit training. So you have more exercises. These exercises, they have more repetitions. Now you're not counting your time, but you are counting your repetitions. I'm doing 15 repetitions or even 50 repetitions on specific exercises, but you're using mostly your body weight, and some you're doing with a resistance band. And you're not gonna do big muscles like squats as you did in the previous workout. You're gonna work more for your arms and shoulders and things like this. And you will do this 3 rounds of the circuit. So I'll show you a bunch of exercises, and you have like frog pumps, and you have things like tricep extension, you have bicep curl and all these kind of things. And you do one exercise after the other with minimum rest in between them, and then you're going to take a rest once you finish the whole batch of exercises for maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, catch your breath as much as you need, and then do this one more round, and then take a breath anymore, and then one more round, and do 3 rounds of this circuit, of these exercises. And this, for all the exercises that you will do, you will note how many repetitions you managed to do, because we are also, for most of them, trying to achieve muscular failure as well, especially when you were using the resistance band. And then let's say that you're doing a pull for the back and the shoulders with the resistance band, and you manage to do 25 repetitions. Take notes not of the time this time, but take notes of the amount of repetitions. And next time you want to do 1 repetition more. If I did my high pull and I managed to do 25 repetitions, the next time that I do, I want to try 26. And then the next time I do, I want to try 27, all the way to reaching more or less 30. And then I increase the resistance of my resistance band. I get a thicker resistance band and work all the way to 30, sometimes even 50 repetitions. This will be a bit more tiring, you'll sweat a bit more, and it will be less intense because you're not gonna put as much sheer amount of strength per repetition. You do higher amount of repetitions, more volume, is more focus on your muscular growth rather than your strength. The first workout is more to develop your sheer strength. The second workout is more to develop muscle size, you know, toning the muscle or growing the muscle, whatever you know word you use to describe that. So this workout will help you a bit more for that. So now let's go. I will show you all the exercises that you do for this, and in the video I'll also let you know how many repetitions per exercise you will do. the two workouts. If you're only working out with this type of workouts, if you don't have access to a gym or you don't want to have it, you can do the first workout twice a week and the second workout also twice a week. Remember that it's very important that you keep track of the time that you do your exercises in the super slow training and the amount of repetitions that you can do on the second training, because you always want to progress. You always want to find ways to make it harder, make more repetitions or make it heavier as your body gets stronger and they start to become easier as you progress. You always want to keep the stimulus as high as you can, especially when you're doing body weight exercises or with a light resistance like a resistance band. Also for the push-up, remember that if you cannot do a push-up on the ground, try to do this in an inclined surface. Try to find a bench or a chair or a table that you can start to do them on an inclined position, or even a staircase, which is very handy because you have many steps. You start on a high step and you do push-ups like this, and once you can already do the amount of push-ups, 2 minutes super slow on that. Then you go for a lower step and then a lower step, and then eventually you'll be doing this on the floor, on the ground. And this is how you progress as well. And once you're doing on the ground and you can pass 2 minutes, then you can start using resistance bands as well. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the exercises or the forms, and enjoy the workout going forward. Cheers!